brand new body camera captures the unsettling aftermath when a high schooler gave birth in an emergency room bathroom, allegedly killing her newborn son.
So this is a story that has been getting lots of media attention, as it rightfully should, because it's a crazy story. It's wild because it's not every day that you hear about a 19-year-old throwing her baby in the trash can. So I am unashamed to admit that I have been one of the millions of people that has been tuning into all of the police camera footage that they have been releasing recently. But I cannot deny my level of confusion due to the amount of rage that is coming from this story. It's bewildering to me. It's weird. It's wild to me. Just in case you don't know about this story, on January 27th of this year, 19-year-old Alexi Treviso makes a visit to the New Mexico hospital, and allegedly her mother and boyfriend are under the impression that she is going to the hospital due to back pain and hip pain and things of that sort.
Yesterday she said it was really bad, that her hips were hurting and her back. And then last night we're on the phone together and she said her hips were hurting bad. I said, asked her if anything else was hurting, and she said just everything, and she went to sleep.
This comes as no surprise to her mother, because according to her mother, when she was pregnant with Alexi, she was beaten by her boyfriend, or baby's father at the time, constantly. And on one occasion, so much to a detriment that she had prematurely given birth to Alexi, who as a result came out with spinal issues and things of that nature.
Has she been having back pain before?
Yeah, pain for her and her hips is no, she was born with like her, I don't know, it's like crooked.
Her spine?
Okay, because my ex-husband, he hit me. He beat me whenever I was pregnant with her. Mm-hmm. So she was early. So she had some problems with her hips. Like I always had to take her to the chiropractor to get adjusted because she couldn't use, like, she was always getting constipated. Like she had to get lined up, whatever. So, I've been taking her to chiropractor because I always thought, this time, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know.
So according to her mother, Alexi has constantly had to make visits to the doctor to get healing due to these issues. So allegedly, this need for a doctor's visit comes as no surprise to her mom. She goes to the hospital, they do protocol, they give her a pregnancy test, it comes back positive. Alexi is frantically denying the possibility of this even being a reality in her life, because according to her, she's saying she has never had sex. This can't be possible. I don't know how this has happened to me. Soon after, according to the nurses, she lets them know that she needs to make a number 2 in the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom and she is in there for several minutes on end. Naturally, they are developing a concern for Alexi because they're perceiving that she may do harm to herself because she has recently found out that she's now pregnant.
We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were going to figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restroom, so the doc wanted to go check.
And so they go check on her for several minutes, and one of the nurses report hearing lots of drama going on. They're hearing the toilet flushing constantly. They're hearing the water running, the paper towel dispenser going off over and over. She's giving birth in this bathroom. But it gets to the point where she's in there for way too long that they get the key and open up the door. Alexi walks right past one of the nurses, looking straight as if what they're about to discover did not happen. What they go on to find, one of the nurses describe as a gory, bloody massacre mess. Blood is splattered all over the place behind the toilet, and one of the nurses say this seems to only have been possible due to a ripping or a splashing. They believe that she was possibly ripping the placenta or the umbilical cord, something of that nature. Crazy.
In your line of work, what would cause that kind of splatter?
I think something that got pulled out or ripped. Like if you rip something and blood just went, it was like once you see the photo, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just...
So like you say, like rip, like something went like that?
Yeah, like when you rip something, or if you cut something and you go, like you swing your hand and blood just splatters.
Okay, so
that's how it looked.
Oh.
They go in to clean all of this up. Cleaning crew comes in, they clean up twice. The second time around, they're emptying out the garbage can, and To an awful surprise, the woman on cleaning crew says that the trash can has way more weight to it than it usually does, and she assumes that perhaps these are the other trash bags that they keep at the bottom of it. So she lifts it up, and what she discovers is a blue and purple child with hair upon its head.
She put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
I cannot imagine how horrific that could have been to discover. And I'm confused by the rage, because is this not what millions of people are fighting to do? Did she not abort her baby? Because according to the dictionary, abort means to carry out or undergo the abortion of a fetus, or to bring to a premature end because of a problem or fault. Alexi's problem was that she did not want this baby. I don't know what she had going on at home. I don't know her story to the T. All I know is what has been shared with us. But Alexi aborted her child. And I don't understand the rage. I do not understand everybody's rage. I don't understand how in one breath people are saying, yes, abortion, but this is insane. These two acts are very much so one and the same in my eyes. The only difference is that Alexi did it herself. They say my body, my choice, and it's different when the baby comes out. Well, when the baby came out, there was still a connection to her body with the umbilical cord. Okay? It was still her body. It doesn't matter how you flip it, dip it, and reverse it. She aborted her baby, regardless. And I think that if the master media presented the narrative that this is such a tragedy because she should have been able to have her abortion, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people who are preaching that right now. But if the media pushed it out that way, I'm pretty convinced that the rage amongst many would not be set up how it is right now. People are sheep for the wrong reasons. They follow what the media tells them to think, what other people around them are thinking. That's how they feel. And not everybody. Obviously, people have their natural opinions, as I do, right? But like I said, everybody's anger is bewildering to me. Because Alexi aborted her baby. That's what she did. And as a woman of God, am I supportive of that? Absolutely not. It's heartbreaking. My hope is that this gives perspective as to what is actually taking place when abortions happen. It is murder. No matter how you put it, it is murder. When a woman undergoes an abortion, there are speculations of what they actually do with the fetus, the placenta, and things of that nature. But eventually, most parts of that end up in the trash. They end up in the same place eventually. And as much as I have my opinion, me being compassionate, empathetic, merciful, gracious, a woman, I can't imagine what Alexi was going through within her mind. I pray she gets the healing that she needs. I hate the decision that she made. But at the same time, Alexi has come up within a generation that has morphed her method of thinking into believing that which was developing within her was merely a clump of cells.
But why should children have to die because adults just want to live?
They're just cells before they're born as a baby.
So she kept on saying nothing was breathing, nothing was breathing.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months? Nothing was crying. Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail? Nothing was crying.
Any other questions? Okay. So as of right now, like,
her mind has been conditioned to reduce this human that came out of her to a thing. So can we actually blame her? Yeah, for sure, God will hold her accountable, if she doesn't repent. But can we actually blame Alexi for thinking that what she has done wasn't even criminal? people do it every day. It's like, is this not your king? Is this not who you voted for? Is this not what you wanted? It is what you wanted, you know? And I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about generally. She's a byproduct of this condition of thinking. And it just, she was heartless in that moment. It just reminds me of scriptures, of what was already foretold. It says, because lawlessness, Matthew 24:12, because lawlessness, wickedness shall increase, the love of many will grow cold. They will be proud, boasters, blasphemers, disobedient to parents.
Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth. It was not crying or nothing.
Unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. She was able to murder that child because she's come up in an age that is without natural affection. I pray that as many people as possible would see this as a learning lesson, to either be obedient to your parents or to be obedient to God. You know, being obedient to God is not really an option, but there are parents who are advising their children to live unholy lives, to take your partner for a test drive, because how else will you know? Well, they will be held accountable. They got blood on their hands for misinforming their child. And so obviously my bewilderment, my confusion at the rage is not because I am in support of abortion, obviously. And I don't want this to be a video bashing Alexi, honestly, because I was fast myself disobedient to my parents before. I've had close calls myself. So my compassion is there, but the reality is the reality. And honestly, the reality is also this. Your chances of getting pregnant are slim to none if you slip out of the lifestyle of fornication. If you wait on God's timing, more than likely, you know, with the exception of molestation, God forbid, more than likely you will not be getting pregnant. We cannot act like if you do not do the deed, you ain't gonna get the seed as a result of it. And when the byproduct, when natural chemistry and science happens, we can't go around blaming everybody else for our consequences, for our actions. We have to be accountable. Fornication is one of those sins, for the most part, that is very premeditated and calculated. You go to meet up with that person, you take your clothes off, you do whatever it is, and you slip into that. Self-control and discipline is necessary. And I'm sorry, yeah, your body, your choice, but you also have the choice to not be having sex, to not get pregnant. You feel me? This is a whole separate long discussion, but for the women who have gone to get abortions, it is not a justified act, but for the women who have gone to get abortions due to molestation, those statistics are very low. They are paling in comparison to the women who just want to abort their child because it is an inconvenience. It is a baby that they do not want in their lives at this point, whether they be married or not. And I'm sorry to be harsh, but I do want to comfort you in knowing that if you happen to be pregnant right now, I want you to know that if you look to the Lord, He can help you through the situation. He can give you guidance. He's all powerful. He's not given you a spirit of fear if you are in Him. He could provide for that child if you let Him, if you walk with Him. He can make a way out of no way at all. And He could give a family to that child if you happen to be in this situation. Please, just do not follow in Alexi's footsteps. God has molded that child through your free will, through His permissible will. And He has a sovereign will for that child, okay? Please don't let blood be found on your hands. But in conclusion, we're living in perilous times. We will all be held accountable. America does have a problem. It's that it is double-minded. Not just America, but the whole world. They recognize the problem, but they also are the problem. Isn't it strange? Look, the Antichrist and his reign is soon to come. I pray that you are walking with Christ so that you can escape that terrible and awful day, because it is soon to come. In Jesus' name. Come out from among them and be separate.